Hey everyone, I'm going to be making a new batch of soap today. We're going to be testing out Indigo Fragrance Angelic and Dreamsicle. I am calling this batch of soap Angel's Dreams. I'm going to be working with some cold process star embeds. And these are going to be my colors. A lovely lilac. And I mixed up some iridescent glitter and black glitter in olive oil. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the camera set up and then we'll begin. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I am happy to report that my mom found me some gloves that do not make my hands fall asleep. So they're really cool. They have cloth on the outside, so it's really light, but it has a grip on the inside. So now I have my protection on. As you know, in my previous videos, I wasn't wearing gloves because the latex gloves are so tight, they make my hands fall asleep. But these are nice and light, and it has a grip on the glove part, so it helps me control my stick blender and my other tools. So, as I always tell people, wear your safety precautions the way you feel comfortable, and you know, make sure you're safe. You don't have to be scared of lye, you just have to respect it. It is a chemical and it does burn you. But if you respect the product, you'll be all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. I have my lye and my oils cooled down to room temperature between 75 and 80 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and pour in my lye and we'll stick blend it. You might want to turn your stick blender, you might want to turn your volume down because the stick blender tends to get a little loud. So, let me just stir this up a little bit. I added sodium lactate. I ran out of it, so I only have less than 1% in this water solution, so I added 2 teaspoons of salt to the water solution. I also added titanium dioxide because I want to lighten up my greenish yellow batter for pretty colors. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and stick blend. You might want to turn down your volume a little bit, because like I said, it does get a little loud. Oh, this is great. This is actually my new stick blender, and it's not nearly as loud as my old one. I spoke too soon. I'm going to add my coconut milk. Split this up into 2 separate portions. Add my color. All right. I'm going to add my purple. Now, I have used Dreamsicle before, so I know it behaves well in soap, but this one is actually a tester oil, so we'll just double check. And Angelic I've never used, and it has some floral notes in it, so I'm hoping it'll act nicely, but you never know until you get it in the soap. So we are going to mix the colors first, and then I'll add a full ounce of the Dreamsicle to the glittered portion, and I'll add I'm going to add Angelic to the glitter portion, the full ounce, and Dreamsicle to the purple portion, the full ounce. And then we'll set up my mold and we'll get the embeds in there. And I have another mold set aside because I forgot to weigh my embeds prior to measuring out my oils. And so I'm gonna have some soap left over, I am assuming, which is fine. So I have another mold ready to pour the leftover batter in there because you just don't want to waste anything. I think I want a little bit more glitter, iridescent glitter. The black glitter is showing up nice. I want a little bit more iridescent glitter. Here, this portion. Add a nice sparkle when it hits the light just right. See if you guys can see it. Well, maybe not. Now we're going to mix up the purple. Now again, I did lighten up this batch with titanium dioxide because it was a bright yellowish batch. The avocado oil, I have noticed, has been making the my base oils a lot darker. Usually it's a light yellow. Then I add the avocado and it becomes like this a darker light green color. Alright. So like I said, I'm going to add the full ounce of Dreamsicle into the glitter. And the full ounce of Angelic into the purple. Now what I'm looking for is to make sure that these fragrance oils do not accelerate trace, that they don't rice my batch. Oh, let me see here. This is causing a little bit of ricing. The Angelic caused a little bit of ricing, but that's easily fixed. I can just stick blend that. But I'm also making sure that it doesn't seize my batch, that it doesn't accelerate trace, that the scent holds up and the color holds up. So Angelic caused a little bit of ricing. Now what ricing looks like is, it looks like little lumps of rice in your batter. But you can easily fix that by just stick blending. Smells incredible though. It smells really, really pretty. See? All fixed. So, I am working on getting a camera and a tripod so it can be above what I'm doing. I know it's hard to see at this angle that I have the camera. So I'm trying really hard to get that taken care of. So it'll be better viewing. Just wanted to rinse off my spatula a little bit. Before I stirred up this Dreamsicle portion. Now Dreamsicle's holding up nice. It hasn't. And so is Angelic. It really didn't rice badly. It riced just very minimal. I was able to get it back to smooth consistency. Okay. So I have my mold. As you can see, I have it all marked so I know where I want to put my embeds. Let's get some things out of the way. And we're going to start with the purple portion and pour some in there. And then I'm going to do, let's see. Okay, now these are my embeds. They were actually, a cold process soap. I didn't like the way it turned out. So I just made them into embeds. Oops. Probably should wait for the soap to set up a little bit more. But they should sit nicely. Actually, I'm gonna let the soap set up a little bit more and then I'll bring you guys back. All right, I went ahead and added the embeds. Dreamsicle is holding up beautifully, but the Angelic caused ricing in the beginning, as you saw, and now it's accelerated trace. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get all of this in the mold real quick because I really don't want to. Sorry that I had to work quickly and my camera ran out of battery, so I had to charge it real quick. So I went ahead and just added the embeds. They're underneath the top layer here. Again, Angelic was the purple portion, and it riced just a little bit on me in the beginning. And then when I was letting it set up for the embeds, it accelerated really quickly. So I quickly put the embeds in and then added some more of the purple portion, and Dreamsicle, which was in the creamier glittered portion, held up beautifully. It was actually still very fluid and very pourable. No ricing, no seizing of that, no acceleration of trace. The scents in both of them are holding up very nicely. The colors are holding up very nicely. So the only problem with Angelic, and it wasn't really a problem, you just need to be aware of it, was there was a minimal amount of ricing. When I first poured the fragrance oil, I was able to use my stick blender and get it back to a creamy texture, and then it accelerated trace. It didn't seize my batch, it just set up the soap extremely fast. It became more like of a pudding consistency. So I'm going to go ahead and put this away for 24 hours, and then we'll cut it, and I'll let you see what it looks like on the inside. Thanks for watching. Right, we're going to go ahead and cut the soap and see how it turned out. Again, I used Angelic and Dreamsicle, and I'm calling this Angel's Dreams. Let's see how it looks. I hope I measured correctly. Well, here's just the end piece. It smells incredible. And the colors held up well. If you remember yesterday, I just had a little bit of ricing with Angelic, and then it accelerated trace on me. So the embeds didn't turn out the way I wanted them to. You know, it's a peep show here and there. I have a feeling they slipped around in the mold. But that's okay. It's always a learning process with soap. But that is Angel's Dreams. Thanks for watching.
All done?